it was too round, and then he watched the Sacha Baron Cohen movie where there's a whole conversation about how the missile is not cool looking enough and scary looking enough, it's not pointy enough. So he actually went back to his engineers and he's like, it makes no difference in terms of the flight path, but can you make it pointier looking so that it's cooler?
No way.
Yeah, he does that kind of stuff all the time.
There was some talk on the internet.
It's super cool.
There's talks on the internet that his new robots were like shaped up like the iRobot movie. Did you see this?
Yeah, of course. And this is the thing is that
you know that we watched that and we were like, oh damn, dude, that's gonna be crazy. He watched that, like, I'm making that.
Dude. So my son sort of has the same quality of like, this is a cool thing, I just want to do it, and that's such an amazing quality in a human being. I mean, frankly, it's I think it's good on a moral level, but I think that on a business level, it's amazing. I mean, to just be like, you know what? I've always thought space was fun. I'm starting a space company. What the? I mean, and then make it the most successful space company on the planet. It's like an amazing thing. And it's just, why can't we be excited? This is one of the things that drives me crazy. Like, forget his politics. Can't we just be excited by cool shit? Like, is it okay to be excited that he took the world's, a 20-story rocket, he flew it in the air, the top of it came off, and then he landed it back down on a tower using giant steel chopsticks to catch it? Isn't that like amazing? That's so cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Like, can we just be like freaked out about that a little bit?
I love this side of you.
It's so good.
I never got to see this side of you. I love it. What makes you as excited as that? Like, do you ever? Is there something inside of you that nobody sees?
I mean, so there's a lot of that kind of stuff. So I mean, when great movies, great music. I mean, obviously there's the easy stuff with my kids, but when it comes to you know, like just cool shit. Tech like that is amazing. In the scientific developments, honestly, the world's a really exciting place. There's so much cool stuff. It's just people are like, have you ever been asked the question like, how long would you want to live? You're like, okay, in perfect health, or like I'm old and broken down. In perfect health, how long would you want to live? And my answer to that has been like, as long as humanly possible, because the world is amazing. Like, God created this amazing world filled with intelligent beings who are capable of creating the coolest shit. I mean, like, think about the fact. To understand how amazing private property and free markets are, understand everything that Elon Musk is currently doing is made with materials that were there when they came over there. Right? Like, all the shit that runs your phone is the sand that everybody walked over for thousands of years. Okay, and human beings took that same sand and then turned that into microchips that are capable of charting the stars. Like, that's unreal. And that's so cool. And so, like, what's the next thing that we're going to invent? What's the next thing we're going to do if we're left free, and if we get to keep the stuff we make and keep the profits of what we make, and then reinvest that sort of stuff and do all that sort of stuff? Like, that's so cool. I have a sort of quiz question. This is a fun quiz to tell whether people are dumb or smart. Here's a dumb or smart person quiz. So
we were doing so good.
So it's more of a moral question, actually. Is like, would you prefer to be the dumbest person in a very, very smart society, or the smartest person in a very dumb society?
Yeah.
Right. And so anybody who has like any seichel and common sense would say the first one. Seichel is a Hebrew word, right? Because
Jesus Christ,
if you're the dumbest person in a smart society, you get the coolest stuff. It's like amazing, amazingly cool stuff all the time. But there's so many people who I think want the smartest person in a really shitty society, because then they get power.
Yeah.
And that's a I think there are a lot of people in politics like that. They'd rather just tear down all the things in order to be the powerful person who gets to run the show.
Yeah.
I have no interest in running a show where you're playing in the mud. I would much rather be low man on the totem pole in a super awesome society.
I had this anytime you find success or power, there's always somebody that wants to like remove that hat from you. And I remember a few years ago, somebody came up to me like, just remember, you're only here because Logan Paul wanted you to be here. And I smiled. I was like, well, thank God he gave me Logan Paul. Yeah. So it's like, if I don't know, understand if you are searching for pride and ego, then what you're following is death. But if you look at it from a grateful eye, like Logan didn't have to give me anything. He chose to. That's a blessing. I got to hang out with really intelligent people and absorb like this conversation. I'd rather sit with an intelligent man and learn from his perspective than a dumb man explaining to me why I should be dumb.
Well, there's a great management principle that basically it's called the window in the mirror. And so people who are successful in life, they tend to look at their problems and then they look in the mirror. They're like, okay, what did I do to do this? How do I fix it? And the person who's unsuccessful tends to look out the window. Like, what are all the external factors that led to my lack of success?
Yeah.
And so, I think that's what you're talking about. Like, if somebody comes up to you and they're like, look at all the external factors that led to your success. And if I'd only had those things, then it would be me sitting in that chair right now.
Right.
Or maybe it turns out that life is filled with opportunities. And one of them